Om yo brahmanam vidadhati purvam yo vai vedanscha prahinoti tasmai tamha devamatma buddhi prakasham mumukshurvai sharanamaham prapatye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmanibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vanshishibhyo Manadhyo Namo Gurubhya Sarvopaplavarahita Prajnanagana Pratyagartho Brahmaivahamasmi Brahmaivahamasmi. Vedantartha vibhasakaya gurave Shantaya sannyasine Nanavadi nagendra sanghapavaye Yogindra vandyaya cha Mohatvanta divakaraya bhagavatpadabhidham Vibrate Tasmai bhashyakate namostu satatam Purnaya bodhatmane. Let us recite the third verse. Vakyarthascha vicharyatam shrutishira pakshassamashriyatam dustarkat suviramyatam shrutimatastarko nusandhiyatam brahmasmiti vibhavyatam ahara garvah parityajyatam deheham matiruchyatam budhajai vada parityajyatam. So though a person has come to the conclusion that the Upanishads unanimously declare Atma is Brahman, since and therefore they doubt that do all the Upanishads of all the four Vedas, of all the different branches of the Vedas, do they really say that Atma is Brahman? And how do they declare Atma is Brahman? This doubt is resolved because now one has studied the Upanishads, listened to those Upanishads from the teacher, and has come to the conclusion that how, in what way do the Upanishads show Atma is Brahman. Now he has this knowledge that yes, Atma is Brahman, and yet his experience is that Atma, that means I am, A Jiva. Jiva meaning the one, this conscious being who claims himself to be limited in existence. So a limited entity, Parichinam, and Karta Bhokta, the doer, the experiencer, who shifts from one body to another body, from one life to another life, and continues his search for completeness. Basically, incomplete, huh, and therefore searches for completeness, seeks completeness, seeks fulfillment, and this is what he is achiever, and that is what I am. Not only that this is what I say, but even the people all around me, seemingly wise and seemingly educated people also say the same thing, that I am a jiva. So the nature of this self appears to be jiva, whereas the Upanishad says is Brahman, is complete. And therefore now he has knowledge which is dichotomized. The knowledge is dichotomized. And wherever there is a dichotomized knowledge, it is a doubt. Now, this not only that it remains as a doubt, but it comes to him as a sambhavana and improbability, impossibility. He says, it is not possible that Atma can be Brahman, because this doesn't seem to be logically perfect. This doesn't seem to be logically perfect. If you are going to tell me that might as well just swallow what the teacher has said, well, out of respect and love for the teacher, I may just take it up as a belief that Atma is Brahman. But we are saying Atma is Brahman is not what needs to be believed in. It is a matter to be understood. And whenever there is something to be understood, which means that it will have to justify itself, substantiate itself with reason. Thus, establishing the missing links in between, it will have to show how it is coherent, how it is logical. And therefore now comes Vakyarthashcha Vicharyatam. But when will it happen? Only when you have understood conclusively that yes, the Upanishads have indeed shown Atma is Brahman. And because you have certain what acceptance of Upanishad as Pramanam, the Veda as a Pramana, now there is this asambhavana which has reason. Asambhavana means improbability and impossibility. And that what is that impossibility? It is a logical improbability. How does that express itself? Now we are going to go through a little detail in this commentary because we have time. So rather than just pushing it गोल मटोल करने के बजाय we will We will just go through it patiently. Nanu वाक्यस्य योऽयम् अर्थः तत्त्वमसि इत्येवं रूपः स न संभवति. Okay, न संभवति means doesn't look possible, is not possible. What is not possible? Vakyasya artha, the meaning delivered by this sentence. Because Upanishad is basically, now we mean that Mahavakyam, that statement, that thou art. The statement is Tattvamasi, Mahavakyam. And so because it is a Vakyam, then naturally this being a sentence, it will give its delivery, its meaning. Now, what has happened after it has, and what is that meaning? Atma is Brahman, that you are that. Having said, the understanding which arises in the listener's mind is I am Brahman. I am Brahman. Now, immediately it is contradicted by your earlier knowledge experience. What is your earlier experience? That I am limited, I am small, I am, what do they call, the doer, the experiencer, so on and so forth. Okay. Nanu vakyasya yoyam artha tattvamasi ityevam rupaha. What is the vakyasya artha? Tattvamasi. Okay. Ityevam rupaha sa na sambhavati. This does not look possible. Now, when you say it is not possible, then naturally you will have to justify and show why not possible. Just by saying it is not possible, nothing really happens. And therefore, now, whether it is the Purva Paksha or the Siddharthi, the opponent or the teacher, both of them, when they make a statement, they will have to substantiate it with the reasons that they see, so that whatever is wrong can be negated. Over there. Na sambhavati. Why not sambhavati? Why does it not look possible to you? What is the difficulty over there? Because this is now he brings it up. He says, Tvam shabdasya jiva vachitvat kartritva bhoktritva kinchishnyatvari vishishtatvat tat shabdasya. Now, okay, up to here. Tvam shabdasya. In the sentence, Tattvamasi, what are the components sent by? Because it is a sentence, naturally the components will be words. Which words do you find over there? Tat, Tvam, and Asi. 3 words. That, thou, and art. You are that. So even in English, when you are going to say you, the first word, now let us think about you. What is the meaning of you that comes, which flashes immediately? What is the immediate meaning which is there associated with the word you? So here it goes. Jiva vachitva. This word is what it is. It is a vachaka. Every word naturally is what do they call? What do they call? Indicates, okay, it represents what? Jiva. Okay, it represents Jiva. Jiva vachitva. And kartritva bhoktritva kinchishnyattvadi vishishtatvad. Now, tasya cha. Tasya means this jiva. How is this jiva? This jiva is endowed with kartritvam, bhoktritvam. Okay, Vishishta. How to say Vishishta? Huh? Huh?
Speciality.
Specific. Okay, let us go this way. When one says red rose, so over here, red is an adjective and rose is a substantive. With the words red and rose, the word red is an adjective and rose, the word rose is a substantive. Okay. Adjective is called as Visheshana. Write it down, and if, because this is the language that we may follow for some time, so it is very important that technically what is what should be clear to you, otherwise you'll fall to sleep. Be little alert. Red is what? Adjective, and the word rose is a substantive. Okay. Red in Sanskrit, the word now red in this present context will be called as a Visheshana. It is what? Visheshana. And rose is Visheshya. Understand the difference? Okay, attributed with TK. But it doesn't, it still doesn't bring it what I want to say. Well, understand it. Understand. We will come to it. So, word and the object. There are now these two things. How are these words? The words have a relationship between each other. What is there? The word red. The word red is not color red. The word rose is not rose. The objects are different. The words are only vachakas. They only represent, indicate the object. Here, then one is a Visheshana and the substantive is a Visheshya. What happens is this Visheshya is associated with the Visheshana. Rose word is associated with red, and therefore this association is its attribute. This is also okay. Is its attribute. In the object red rose, rose has an attribute of redness. Okay. So how is this rose? It is Vishishta. The rose, as the word is also Vishishta, the object is also Vishishta. The word rose is Vishishta with the other word, with its adjective, Visheshana. Over here, redness is the adjective, which means the Visheshana in the object, and the rose, the object, is what? The redness is attributed to it. So one is an attribute over here. So it is Vishishta. Now what? Visheshya plus Visheshana will be called as Vishishta. Jiva is how this Jiva is Vishishta, is seen with the attributes kartritvam and bhoktritvam. Okay, is seen with, so it is Vishishta. How is this Jiva? Vishishta. But what is it? What is the Visheshana over there? Kartritvam and bhoktritvam, the doership and the enjoyership, experiencership. Just as the redness is the Visheshana, with which now it becomes Vishishta. Okay, like that. Oh,
Specific?
not really. I will bring it. There are technically proper words to it, even in English. I will identify the right words and bring it. But if you have understood, there is Visheshana, Vishishta, and so what is that? Visheshana, Vishesha, and Vishishta. Have you understood these three things? Then this is okay. Visheshana, Vishesha, and Vishishta. Red plus rose equals to red rose. Red is the Visheshana, rose is the Vishesha, and red rose is Vishishta. Like that, Kartrutvam, Bhoktritvam is Visheshana. Whatever that Atma is Vishesha equals to Jivatma. Kartrutva, Bhoktritva, Vishishta. This is Jiva. Okay, now this is Jiva. So also, along with Kartrutvam, Bhoktritvam, there are other Visheshanas also. And what are these? Kinchijñatva. He is a knower, but how much is his knowledge? Is limited, is small, is fractional, very, very limited. Can you claim that you know everything, or you know, even when you look at a grain of rice, you cannot claim that this knowledge of yours is complete, because when your eyes are going to meet that grain of rice, the other side of the grain of rice is still unknown to you. And even if you turn the grain of rice and look at it from all the angles, you may know it as a physical grain of rice, but you do not know its dimensions, its weight, its chemical properties, its biological, what do they call, botanical categorization, so on, classification. You would not know. So, and what is its atomic structure? Not know. So go as much, and still you will find that there is something still unknown, not known, not known, not known. And therefore, nobody over here as a jiva can claim, I know everything. Badha khabar chhe. Mane badha khabar chhe. No, badha khabar નથી તમે. I know everything. Hey, you know nothing. Get quiet. Kinchajñatva. Vishishtatva. Now this is the case of the word tvam. The Purva Paksha is putting up his case, okay? That why there is an impossibility. So he is now creating the background in order to declare, to show why he has said it is an impossibility that Atma is Brahman, cannot be. Then what is the second word in that sentence? Tat. That. What is that? Brahman. How is this Brahman? Jagat Karanam is the very cause of this world. It is said that is the cause of this world because the effect cannot be separate from its cause. Like the clay and the clay pot. The clay pot is the effect, but that effect does not have any separate, segregate different existence, independent existence other than its cause. For this reason, we are saying that Brahman is the cause of this world. Okay. Now, when you have said is the cause, then naturally it will also bring other things. And what is it? Tat Shabdasya cha Ishvaravachakatvad. This word tat, that means Ishvara. What is the meaning of that word tat? Ishvara. Tat means that. And over here, this word tat means Ishvara. Okay. It means Ishvara. So how is this Ishvara? Ishvaravachakatvad. This Ishvara kartritva bhoktritvadi rahitatvad. This Ishvara is free from the sense of doership, experiencership, and is how Sarvajnaha is omnipotent and omniscient, all-knowing. Whereas what is the case of Jiva? He is Vishishta with Kartritvam, Bhoktritvam and Alpajnatvam, Kinchajnatvam. Whereas Ishvara is free from Kartritvam, Bhoktritvam, and therefore for Ishvara there is nothing like Papa Punya. Papa Punya is concerned how only with Jiva. Ishvara being free from Kartrutvam, Bhoktrutvam, there is nothing like Papa Punya. And this Ishvara is Sarvajnaha, omniscient, omnipotent. Omnipotent means Sarvashakti. Okay? Sarvashakti. Hey, Shaktiman is a word, but you cannot have Sarvashaktiman. That grammatically it is not very correct. So when you want to say all powerful, how will you say? Not Sarva Shaktiman, it will be only Sarva Shakti. Okay. Because the samasa does the work, then that Matu Pratyaya is not required to be added. That's why it will be Sarva Shakti. Kartrutva Bhoktruttvadi Rahitatvad Sarvajnatva Jagatkaranattvadi Vishishtatvad. Thus, Ishvara is Jagat Karanam, the very cause of this world. This world at which you see, you know, and you know fractionally. Whatever is known to you about this world is just the tip of the iceberg. The unmanifest is, or subtle manifest is much more and greater. Even whatever is the physical world also, we are not able to know it completely. And what to say about the world which exists as unmanifest, not known, and Ishvara knows everything. So this Ishvara is omniscient, omnipotent, free from Kartrutvam and Bhoktrutvam, is Jagat Karanam. And therefore now the difference between Ishvara and Jiva are blatant. The difference between Jiva and Ishvara are blatant, loud. Jiva is also Vishishta. Ishvara is also Vishishta. But Jiva is Vishishta with Kartrutva, Bhoktrutva, Kinchijnatva, Alpashaktimatva. So he is Alpashakti. Ishvara is Sarvashakti, Sarvajnaha. The difference is Vishishta, but this difference is blatant. And therefore, Jiva and Ishvara is not one. Upanishad may have said that Atma and Ishvara, Brahman is one. Brahma, Ishvara, one now. Is one. But for us, how are we logically going to, how is it going to become logically acceptable? Because Ishvara is like this, Jiva is like this, how can we say is one and the same? At the most, we can say Jiva is a part, fragment of Ishvara. But how, nothing beyond it. You are saying Jiva is Ishvara, Ishvara is Jiva. So no difference, is one. How will that be possible? No, now, even if some in some way, if you are going to bring a logic, and if you are going to say nachatayo kinchishnyatva sarvajñatvadi vishishtayo kathamapi asi asipadayena abhedo bodhetum shakyah. But you are going to say, look here, what is the sentence? Tat and tvam. It is not tat asti, tvam asi. The not two sentence is not like that. How is the sentence? Tat tvam asi. That thou art. And therefore, asi pada, the last word of that sentence is asi, is showing Atma is Brahman. And by the power, on the strength of that Asipada, if you are going to say yes, we can put them together, then Abhedaha Bodhaitum Shakyaha, so we are going to say no. Over there also it is not going to be possible. Why? Viruddha Swabhavatvat. Because Tat and Tvam, both of them are totally different. They are in fact the nature, they are of opposite nature. One is limited, the other one is not limited. One is endowed with kartritvam bhoktritvam. The Ishvara is free from kartritvam bhoktritvam. This fellow is what? Alpajnaha. Ishvara is sarvajnaha. This fellow is Alpashakti. Ishvara is Sarvashakti. Oh. Therefore, now even though there is this Asipada, the word Asi sitting over there, in the whole sentence, as a part of that sentence, Asi word is sitting, and it has the strength to show it is one. But it cannot, because the earlier two words are what? Totally different. They are totally different. And therefore, it is not possible. Thus, there is an impossibility now established. Now, what is our job? Over here, Vakyarthascha Vicharyata means this is done so that the vichara is done, so that the logical impossibility which was there can be resolved. So now we have begun, we have not reached the conclusion. So this is just a Purva Paksha. Shivaya. This is just the Purva Paksha. Okay. Nachatariha. Viruddha Swabhavatvat. Oh, let them be of different nature, but why can't they still be one? Okay, you can even raise this kind of a question. Let them be of different nature, yet they can be one. No, sir, that is not possible. Whenever the objects are of opposite nature, they cannot be one. because one will naturally cancel the other one. One will naturally cancel the other one. Like light and darkness. Can you ever say light is darkness? No. Whenever there is light, in whatever measure the light is, to that measure, to that extent, the darkness is destroyed, dispelled. Therefore, whenever objects are of different nature, opposite nature, just not different, but of opposite nature, they will cancel each other. They will cancel. And therefore, they cannot be called as one. Just that they are different is not enough. They are opposite also. Ishvara is Sarvajna. Jiva is Alpashnya. Jiva is with Kartritvam Bhoktritvam. Ishvara is free from Kartritvam Bhoktritvam. Now how will you say that they are one? Because they are not only different, but they are opposite of each other. Tejas tamasoho abheda darshanat. So where have you seen this? We have seen this with tej and tamasa, with light and darkness. Therefore, not acceptable. The impossibility is established. He further says, Nacha jive kincha jnatvadehe ishe sarvajnatvadehischa vadhe chaitanya swarup amatrayoho abhedaha aviruddhaha iti vachyam. If you are, so now he is, who the Purva Paksha is strengthening his argument. I don't know if you people are, really getting it or not. He is strengthening his position. And he says, if you are going to say that the attributes, the Visheshanas, can be falsified. The Visheshana can be falsified, but the substantive is still there. The object to which the attributes are attributed, that object is there. Visheshanas can be opposite, but that which is Vishesha is same one, and therefore one, it is still possible. Like that, Jiva is also conscious being, is consciousness, and Ishvara is also consciousness. Consciousness attributed with Alpajnatva, and consciousness attributed with Sarvajnatva, omniscience, and what Alpajna means? Limited knowledge. Can we have some word like omniscience for, is there? That should be there.
Omnipresent. Omnipresent. Omnipresent.
Omnipresent means no. Omni का opposite चाहिए, omnipresent. Omnipresent मतलब सर्वत्र विद्यमान. Well, let's go ahead with whatever limited vocabulary that I have. Okay. So he said, consciousness attributed with an attribute of omniscience is Ishvara. Consciousness with an attribute of Alpajnatva, limited knowledgeness, is jiva. Huh? This is jiva. Let us say that these attributes can be, though they are opposite, these attributes can be falsified, but the Vishesha part is still there, and therefore it is possible to have oneness over here. If this is your argument, he says, don't even put up this argument because this is Jiva and this is Ishvara, and their opposite nature is established through Pramana. Okay, it is established through Pramana. Therefore, that which is already proven as a fact, you cannot alter it just because it fits your agenda. You cannot do that. Pramana siddha dharmanam badha ayoga. That which is established through Pramana, it cannot be falsified. That which is established through Pramana cannot be falsified. Very important. Then he gives an example to prove his point. What is the point? You understand the line of argument. We cannot say that the attributes are opposite. Attributes can be falsified, and therefore that to which these attributes are associated with can be called as one. You cannot say this. Why? Because even the attributes are also what? Pramana siddha. They are established through Pramana. So what? He says, not so what? Whatever is established through Pramana cannot be falsified. Where did you see this rule, or are you making this rule by yourself? No, there is a rule. And how is this? Look at this. Anyatha घटपटत्वादि धर्माणां बाधे स्वरूपस्य एकत्व संभवेन तयोर्भेदो दत्तांजलि स्यात्. Anyatha, otherwise what will happen? Ghata patatwadi dharmanam. Now, the pot, the cloth, all these objects are basically what? Physical objects, and the element which is there is the earth element. Okay. Though both of them are earth elements, okay, whether ghatapati means the cloth, the pot. Now you will say, over here, the earth element with the attribute of ghatatva, potness. Over here, the earth element with the attribute of clothness. Cloth, patatva. Let us say that this is false and therefore it is one. And if it is one, therefore, whenever you need cloth, just keep a pot on your body. And whenever you need a pot, take a cloth to fill water. Can you do that? No. Why? Because this is pot, this is cloth. Though it is Vishishta, earth element is with the attribute of potness and the earth element is with the clothness attribute. Over here, it cannot be falsified because it is established through Pramana. It is so therefore that which is established through Pramana cannot be falsified. Rule is made. That what is established through pramana cannot be falsified. Are you people able to get that thing or not? Somebody please respond, because I cannot see your faces.
Ji Swamiji, we can
Yes,
understand.
Swamiji. Yes, Swamiji.
Okay. What is the
This
rule?
this is simple to understand.
That what is established through the pramana cannot be falsified. Just as ghatatva, patatva, etc. are the attributes of the earth element, yet because it is established through pramana, it cannot be falsified. And if falsified, then there will be an apatti, there will be a problem, and that problem will be tayor bhedaha, ghata. The pot is different from cloth. The pot is different from cloth. This problem, there will be problem that Tattanjali Syat. You will have to do it Shraddha of that paid. Tattanjali. Anjali is that, when you do that Shraddha, etc. Will it be like that? It will be like, so therefore, whatever over here, Jiva is Vishishta, Ishvara is Vishishta, and over here, let us say that Jivatva is there because of which Jiva is called as Jiva, Ishvaratva is there because of which he is called as Ishvara, and these attributes can be falsified, therefore they are one. If this is the case, then you will have to say pot is cloth, cloth is pot. If you can say Jiva is Ishvara, Ishvara is Jiva, because the attributes, the Visheshana part can be falsified, therefore they are one, then in this case, Ghatatva Vishishta Ghataha, Patatva Vishishta Pataha, their attributes that Ghatatva and Patatva are false, and therefore Ghata and Pata is one. Such kind of a thing, if you are going to say, sir, this is totally what? Absurd. Therefore, how can you say Ishvara and Jiva? That what is established through pramana now cannot be falsified. And if you will still insist, then please, for you, that the pot is cloth, cloth is pot. Kindly do that. Next day, when you take bath and you have to wear clothes, just carry a pot. Okay? This will happen. Tattanjali is the problem. And therefore, there is an impossibility. This is just one example of that impossibility which is shown to you over here. Okay? Like that, the Purva Paksha will bring in several impossibilities, because all that you want to see is oneness, which is now established through the Upanishad. But he says, let Upanishad be the Pramanam. But there are other Pramanas also which are showing that there is a difference. Jiva is Jiva, Ishvara is Ishvara. Ishvara is Vishishta with Ishvaratvam. Like the pot is Vishishta with what? Potness. Because that object has potness, you will call it pot. Because that object has got clothness, you are calling it cloth. If it did not have potness, will it be called as pot? So potness is what is making it pot, clothness is what is making it cloth. Then let us say the attributes, the potness and clothness can be falsified, and therefore the pot and cloth are one. Can you do such kind of a job? No. Like that, Ishvara is Vishishta with Ishvaratva, Jiva is Vishishta with Jivatva, and therefore their attributes can be falsified, they are one. That what? This is not. Because what is established through the Bheda, the difference is established through Pramana, and therefore it cannot be falsified. Okay? This is the Purva Paksha. In your case, what is the Pramana? That Jiva is not Ishvara. What is the Pramana? Jiva is not Ishvara. What is the Pramana for you? That you're making a tall claim. He says, my own experience is the Pramana. How? Naham Ishvaraha. Naham Ishvaraha. I am not Ishvara. I am not the cause of this world. Naham Ishvaraha. I am not Ishvara. Naham Ishvaraha. That who are you? I am just one small little entity in this world, being governed by Ishvara. That one who governs everything is Ishvara. That Ishvaratva means governance, power, control. A mosquito can fly and drink your blood. Who has controlled it? Oh, but then mosquitoes also should become vegetarian. Hey, it is already controlled. Mosquito has no choice about it. There is, so it is governed. It is governed. The one who is governing is Ishvara. And are you the one who controls, or are you the one who is controlled? So, and therefore there is difference in Ishvara and Jiva. Okay. Naham Ishvaraha iti pramana siddhasya Jiva Bhedasya Parityaga Ayogaha iti ched. This is our argument. And then now the Siddhanti says, if this is your argument, then if this is your objection, then we will answer this objection. Iti ched. And therefore, what is there? The answer now. Vakyarthashti vicharyatam. Therefore, there is a need for Vakyartha vichar. There is a need for vichar. To think about it. For its verification. Verification of what? Verification of the meaning of that sentence. Mahavakya. Which sentence? The sentence which has shown oneness of Atma and Brahman. Oh, that. So we need to verify its meaning. And how will the verification take place? Through the process of analysis. And therefore now analysis is required. But we don't want to. We will accept whatever you say, Guruji. Not Guruji thing. Vakyarthashti vicharyatam. Therefore, there is Vakyartha vichara required. Okay? It is not that Shankaracharya arbitrarily has put one instruction because, he had to somehow complete the verse. It comes as a natural consequence. It is in the sequence. Vakyarthashcha vicharyatam. Okay, done. Now, how are we going to answer this. Hi. So a namuna, a specimen of what kind of vichara we are doing is will be given to you in a small little way, which becomes for a beginner. When it goes to advanced, the arguments, etc., the objections are really very subtle and very powerful. But this is enough for us to begin with. Let us see more of it when we meet next. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmiti Murtibheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Thank you, friends.